Hi guys, I'm Ambarish Mitra. Apologies about the overdressed. It's an event I have to go to after this, but normally I'm never like this. So quickly, what's our vision? What are we trying to do? Uh, in the room, how many people know what augmented reality means? Just raise of hands. Seems around 60%, so this might be useful. So our vision is to give you more from the world you see. It's very simple. The world you see, in our opinion, is not enough. There's a lot of stuff hidden there. There's a lot of information to be extracted, and I'll elude in a moment what it truly means. But on a very high level, our vision is to give you more from the world you see. But since we are talking about vision, a very important thought comes to our mind is our eyes. Why is eyes important? Of course, besides it gives us sight, our business is built on three very strong philosophies or principles. And the first one of it is eyes, which gives us sight, which is actually responsible for a person or for a human being, 83% of its cognition, knowledge, learning, growing up. It's very critical. And that's almost commonsensical as well. But how does it connect to our business model is we're already seeing this evolution of the most important organ in the human body, which is outside the human, the phones. And the phone is primarily being used for photographs all the time. And not just photographs, but visual behavior. There's almost $500 billion businesses built on pictures, like Facebook and Snapchat and Instagram and Pinterest, and the list goes on. If you notice, there's an increasing trend in like 7, 8 years. More and more visual technologies are having a very dominant role and driving a lot of the interactions. But not only that, if you notice, Apple, which is the world's biggest company market cap-wise, its entire business model, its entire advertising is built on, shot on iPhone 6. So it truly emphasizes the importance of the camera. Hold on to that thought. The next philosophy is, in the world of media and advertising, television is a media, outdoor is a media, press is media, in-store signage is media. And I'm not disagreeing to all of that, and it's a $600 billion industry. But think about it, the biggest media in the world is actually products. The more products sold or held in front of you or consumed every day, more than Facebook likes, Google searches, YouTube views combined, except very few marketers in the world really consider their product as a media. And we believe augmented reality could be one of those technologies which will make the product talk to the user, and quite relevant to what I'm speaking about. And the third one is a bigger vision where today the primary gateway to the internet has been search engines, and most of our behaviors is led by that in terms of whenever we're seeking information. But let's not forget, 1/7 of the world can't even read and write. 2/7 of the world has very basic literacy of numbers and alphabets. They can understand currency and road signs, but they're not reading novels or newspapers. And 4/7 of the world where we belong, people like you and me, from high school dropouts to triple PhDs, we don't understand or we don't speak more than 10% vocabulary of any given native language. And often, most people judge other people based on their interpretation of knowledge, their vocabulary, how smoothly they speak a language, but a lot of it is lost in translation. And the human imagination is often inversely proportional to human vocabulary. A lot of us have so many questions, so many curiosities, so many thoughts. So hence, these three philosophies are critical because computer vision and deep learning really has the power to connect people to everyday objects, sometimes not having to describe it. But Before going too descriptive on it, I want to simplify for the people in the audience what truly augmented reality means and what virtual reality means, because these topics are quite the buzzword and a lot of people are talking about it. So, of course, there's reality, is the world we see with our eyes. Number two, which is augmented reality. Augmented reality requires the reality in front of you. It only enhances it. You want to know more about this black jacket? You want to know more about this screen? You want to know more about that plant? There has to be an objective reality, and you can look through eyes of a computer, which is your phone, your iPad, your camera, anything, your car, and you get more additional information. And virtual reality is actually escaping from reality. It has actually no reference point to something that's in front of you. Could be sitting in this room and taking a walk in Venice or watching a 360 NFL game. So that's for clarity purposes. This is how a computer typically sees the world. It is almost like a brain of a 4 to 5 year old. It breaks things into clusters. It understands. It doesn't find out true meaning out of everything it is looking at, but it really color bands things and it identifies things in isolation. And this is where it stands today. And of course, as this field is increasing and it's going up, we will see tremendous intelligence and artificial intelligence come into play. But this is just a snapshot of typically how computer vision looks like when we run deep learning algorithms. Augmented reality could have several use cases. It could be used in marketing communications, gaming, enterprise in terms of training. There's so many jobs in the world which require two hands and computational power at the same time. And AR could play a very, very big role there. Medical science, it could actually end up disrupting majority of industries because there isn't a thing right now which acts as a bridge between the digital layer and the physical layer. I mean, there are things like QR codes, but QR codes is just a code which you put on an object. It truly doesn't understand the object. You guys must have also heard the phrase Internet of Things, which is a movement which is trying to connect everything, trading information with each other through chips and planting processors and things. But computer vision could really amplify and expedite it. We already have a universal remote control in our hands called the phone today, which already has a very smart camera. You couldn't put a chip on every plant in Amazon forest or in your garden, but you can look at majority of things through your phone's camera and recognize it. Not today, maybe in 6 months' time or 12 months' time, and we're calling it Internet on Things. You don't need to connect everything, but you can truly recognize everything and give people content. Before we move any further, let me quickly give you guys a minute demo. You'll get an idea of what I'm talking about, what augmented reality looks like, and what image recognition looks like. Thank you. So the first demonstration would be augmented reality being used in education space. And this is, all these examples are not like dummy demos. They're actually real implementation of what happens in real schools. So this is educating the user on how the solar system works out of a simple piece of lecture in your classroom. And the orientation of it is right now portrait, but in your phone it's going to be landscape, so bear with me. So this is trying to explain that if you, the student, you're the sun, what will the solar system around you look like? So in this reference point, I'm the student, I'm the sun, and it shows that in relative to you as the sun, how are the planets revolving? And you can see the Earth and the Moon, and now you literally move around because, and you try and translate each one of the positions. So this is Saturn, and if I want to know more about other planets, I can just click on them, and it gives description about each one of them. You can see the surface of the planet. This could be a very, very engaging experience. And today, 40,000 schools are already implementing these technologies in classrooms and in homework schedules. This example shows to the kids how volcanoes work. And again, everything you're seeing, it's happening real time out of the cloud. I'm using a 4G connection here. And literally, this volcano comes out of this paper. You'll in a moment see that it also becomes a labeling exercise for the kids where they need to drag the words written on the left into the right areas of the blank. So you can click on any one of them and you can label back into the white space. You get the idea. The next demonstration is showcasing how the entertainment and gaming industry is using it. So this is an example of, again, Star Wars, where we don't have sound plug into this, but I don't know if this is reaching you, but the sounds, the effects are much better. So this is a game where literally off the poster, the game comes to life, and it's asking us to join the rebellion army. Your very phone from that physical print becomes a live war zone environment where I start shooting the people in the room. No, not really. I need to look for the Star Troopers and shoot them down, and you can have a multiplayer game with your friends. But you engage with the real environment. At the same time, initially the game was triggered from literally a piece of paper or poster. And one last thing, which is right now not live yet, but I'd love to show you. This is not restricted to just papers. It literally could be on everyday random objects. So this is like just a piece of apple, which is of not any particular shape. There is no code on it. It is not a flat piece, but you could still look at this apple, and hopefully, it says my connection is too slow, but hopefully recognize it as an apple and give people relevant content. Okay, it says connection seems to be taking a while. Let's try again. Always the danger of doing a live demo. So you see immediately it recognizes this as an apple. And what's the point of it? This is what I was talking about, Internet on Things, that every random object in the world could act as a trigger of your curiosity and inspiration. You could look at someone's clothing, you could look at a monument, you can look at any piece of art, anything you don't understand and you want to know more about. This is what the world of augmented reality is bringing into. And this case, obviously Apple is an apple. Most people know that. In case someone doesn't, this is an apple. But you can know recipes associated with this apple immediately based on your location, or find the location where you can buy apples from, nutritional value, and you can imagine if you don't have to search for everything, you can just point your phone and get more additional information. That's the world we are trying to build. Thank you very much.